But when the American people really so desperately need help, when they are not able to open their businesses, when people are not able to function as normal, and then you see what is packed in this bill, I mean, I feel it is an insult to the American people, quite frankly.
It is a total insult, and they won't even have any bipartisan support. They love to say, oh, we're bipartisan because Mitt Romney or someone's going to support it. But no Republican is going to support this because it's packed with so many things that are horrible. And just to touch quickly on the Planned Parenthood one, the fact that this is a PPP fund, which is supposed to be going to small businesses.
Right.
Supposed to be going to businesses that are, really needing help right now because everyone's businesses are, everyone's turning to Amazon and so on. Planned Parenthood is not a small business. They're the largest abortion provider in the country. So even aside from the abortion topic, they're not a small business. So all these PPP funds should be going to actual small businesses.
And we all know that it's actually, illegal for places that fund abortion to get federal dollars at this point. So,
but I mean, at this point, I feel like the Democrats have bent the rules so much. Why not, Lynn? Do it again here.
I mean, I wrote down a few things that they tried to pass when your father-in-law was president and sneak in there, and it wouldn't surprise me if this stuff is actually still in there again, which is mandatory cash bail.
Yeah.
So all of that stuff is probably still in here. I can't imagine they would take it out because it works. Let's just admit, they obviously were able to get a lot of things in there before that they can't now. And look, mandatory cash bail, the governor of Illinois just signed this. And, I can't think of a place where there's more gun violence, more dangerous folks that are being locked up. And it's a slap in the face to the police officers who risk their lives trying to put these people in jail just for them to turn around in a revolving door and get out the next day. You want this nationwide. It'll be interesting to see what happens to Chicago. I never thought it could get any worse, but it will.
That's probably sadly true. I just think, look, we're seeing the true colors of the Democrats in so many ways, and I think it's really just so egregious whenever these folks say that they want to help people. That is always the line they use. They're supposed to represent folks around the country from certain districts, from certain states, and then you give us this bill. This is what they're trying to push forward. I think it's terrible, but hopefully people can see how crazy it is. I think they bank on the fact that maybe, Daniel, people aren't going to look this stuff up. They're just going to say, oh, it took $2 trillion to get us through this next COVID stimulus relief. I think it sets a terrible precedent. But we'll see what happens with it.
Yeah.
Hopefully some of this gets taken out because it's crazy.
And I want to remind people watching that there are 20 House Democrats in Trump red districts. So, I'll be happy to post those names on my social media tonight. Because they should think twice about supporting something like this.
Absolutely.
Because we're going to come for you in 2022.
We are.
And I think they'll see the effects of this. They'll see that, wait, how come I'm not doing better? How come these COVID bills passed? And how come my family isn't in a better place? And even as you mentioned with learning with schools, I mean, why is all the funding going to schools that are closed, going to schools that have virtual learning? The money is not sticking with the child, wherever the child is, which is what President Trump was pushing. And I remember hearing Kayleigh McEnany talk about school choice and talk about how the funding needs to stay with the child for their learning. And they're not learning right now.
No,